The citizens of Colorado reject increased taxes. But I'm a solutions kind of guy. I'm a solutions kind of guy. And yeah, true, I did offer an amendment to take money, to take $2.4 billion that's circling around the state of Colorado, just not in the pockets of the citizens of Colorado. I did offer a bill yesterday that would help the businesses of Colorado. And you can email me for it. I'll give you the information. You can have it right now. But the Democrats sided 8-4 with Big Pharma. Big Pharma. So if you think your medication prices are too high and your health care costs are too high, I tried. I was rejected 8-4. But again, I'm a solutions kind of guy. So it's important that we try to find solutions. I tried unleashing the free market through transparency of HB 25B-1012. $2.4 billion is a reasonable estimation for how much that would infuse into the economy. 63,000 jobs rejected. 8-4. So the only thing left that the Democrat Party will approve of is a tax increase, which requires a ballot initiative like this one for a tax increase on the citizens of Colorado. So I'm going to propose a fee. And there's only one thing that I could think of that is not already feed. So with all the solemnity that is due to this General Assembly special, not so special session, I move L002 to HB 1001, then ask that it be properly displayed.
One moment.
Looks good.
L2 is properly displayed. Rep. DeGraaf.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Amend printed bill, page 2, after line 18, insert. The intent of the General Assembly is that all coinage remaining on the ground for more than 30 seconds, this would be a new version of the 30-second rule, will become real property of the state. While most coins are represented by their face value, found pennies have a value of a day's worth of good luck. While intangible, this day's luck of good luck is estimated to have a value of $19.68. The fee of which, being the rightful property of the state of Colorado, will be $6.56 in accordance with the tax liberation day being mid-April. And that means tax liberation day means when you stop paying taxes, when your labor stops being compelled and given to the state, when your slavery stops, and when you can start earning income for yourself. The Democrats hate that it's mid-April. They would like it to go farther in the year. Will be $6.56 in accordance with tax liberation day being mid-April. It is estimated that each Coloradan finds 6 pennies per year, over 30 million pennies per year across the state. Resultant revenues are anticipated at $196,800,000. Now, one thing that we could do to bolster this is we could seed Colorado with pennies. So if you would like to participate in the pick-a-penny fee, I would suggest you send maybe 1, maybe 2 pennies, just put them in an envelope and send them to the governor. And then we can just scatter them all around, and then people that pick up pennies will be assessed a fee, which of course they will be on their honor to uphold, and then that fee can be fed right into the budget of the General Assembly that will continue to grow unabated. So this is really the only fee that I can think of that's left. I don't know if this would require an enterprise. I think we can trust the citizens of Colorado to act on good faith and say that, yes, I did find a penny. I did, find a penny, pick it up. All the day you'll have good luck. I did find a penny, and therefore I did gain a day of good luck. And in recognition that that day of good luck is worth $19.68, it is a reasonable fee. So I did think about a tax on the coinage in your couch cushions, but I could not make the nexus between couch cushions to real property. So this, being on the ground, connected to the state of Colorado, it's a fair assessment that this could be assessed as real property, and that the day of good luck of Coloradans could be something not taxed, because that would require a ballot initiative, but just a simple fee. Just a simple fee. because I'm a solutions kind of guy.
Rep. Sirota.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm not even sure what to say about this amendment. It obviously doesn't fall under the title of the bill, which is addressing the qualified business income deduction. It is also a deeply unserious response to the crisis that we find ourselves in right now. We are here. People have taken time away from other jobs. They have curtailed vacations. People have come together to address a crisis that we are in because of the passage of H.R. 1. This bill that we are debating right now is in response to the passage of H.R. 1, which included an extension of the qualified business income deduction, and we are continuing state policy here to say that we believe this add back for millionaires is a responsible, proper tax policy and treatment of taxpayers. It doesn't fit under the title of the bill. And I wish we could get back to a serious conversation about the work at hand. The budget was balanced when we passed it out of this General Assembly back in April. We had a revenue forecast presented to us on June 18th that presented us still being in a decent spot in the current year budget, which is the budget that we are talking about right now. This current fiscal year 26 budget is the one that has the $1 billion hole in it. Not the next budget year that I continue to hear referenced, but this budget year now, here. And that is why we are here. That is what we are debating. We should be having a serious conversation about how we are going to help the people of Colorado to prevent these devastating cuts to their health care, to their food assistance, not this.
Rep. DeGraaf.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do resent that this is not a serious bill. This is not a serious amendment. It is every bit as serious and it is every bit as truthful as this that says that we're talking about the status quo, that we're talking about no tax policy change. We're talking about no tax policy change that requires an amendment. Now, this also is the assumption that this is going to solve the budget problem, and it's not. So my point in bringing forth the pick-a-penny amendment is, the point of that is because there's no money left. And it's going to require some creativity. And, I mean, we've been saying it for hundreds of years. Find a penny, pick it up every day, you'll have good luck. That should be a taxable income. We can't do that because it would require something on the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, so hence a fee. Without even an enterprise, just a straight fee. Requires a constitutional amendment. Outside of restaurants where they collect this QBI, outside of stores, that's where you're going to find pennies. So there is a nexus between the QBI, because they're often discarded. The budget, we knew that this was coming in October. We knew that this funding for this budget, to continue to blame it on H.R. 1, is just a complete evasion of responsibility. And the bill sponsor brought up H.R. 1, so we're going to talk about H.R. 1. H.R. 1 is reducing federal spending. And this body has grown addicted to the federal spending. And it's also a recognition that some of this money that we were taking, that Colorado was violating the rules of that federal spending. It was violating the compact with 50 other states and saying, yeah, here are the rules for what this money is for. We're going to do something else with it. Now, instead of this General Assembly doing something serious and going back and looking at the bills that are creating this problem, things like the funding of undocumented foreign nationals. Now, illegal aliens is always something that's used for the, the southern border and to try to get that emotive response of the press. But we're also looking at undocumented foreign nationals that are running car chop rings and shipping parts back to Asia. Those are also undocumented foreign nationals. We're talking about undocumented foreign nationals that come from the Middle East. And I guess they're so oppressed that they somehow sail across the ocean, end up in Mexico, and then come into our country as well.
DeGraaf, back to your amendment, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get to the sponsor of the bill recommended that we are trying to get to a serious point, and this bill is not a serious attempt to deal with the problem. The problem is not with H.R. 1. The problem is the spending of the Democrat Party. The problem is the spending of the tax experts in the Democrat Party. The problem is violating federal law. The problem is this body violating the goodwill and trust of the citizens of the United States. And the citizens of the United States probably finally put somebody who is at least alert in office, coherent, and that person said, whoa, what is Colorado doing? Oh, Colorado is violating all sorts of federal laws. Well, you know what you don't get for violating federal laws?
L2 is about finding coins on the ground. If you could get it back to L2, and then we can go back to the bill.
Absolutely. I think we'll probably talk more about the lack of seriousness of this General Assembly and why, when I say that it is with all the solemnity due to this General Assembly that I move House Bill 002. Because it is with all the solemnity due to this General Assembly, because this General Assembly is a joke. Every single opportunity that we've presented to save money, to save the taxpayers' money, to reduce spending, to not create a billion-dollar hole, has been rejected. I gave you $2.4 billion yesterday, rejected, 8-4. No, 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 no. This, compared to the General Assembly right now, to this special session that's spending somewhere between $33,000 and $50,000 per day, is, with all the solemnity and respect that is due to this General Assembly. The General Assembly, let's look at what is the purpose of this General Assembly? Because if we're talking
DeGraaf,
about...
we're not talking about the purpose of the General Assembly, we're talking about L2.
Well, that's good, because this General Assembly has no idea what the purpose of the General Assembly is. And the purpose of the General Assembly is not to extract more money from the citizens of Colorado. The purpose of the General Assembly is to secure the rights of citizens. This is just a simple way to actually try. And this is the only fee left that Colorado is not already charging. Colorado has figured out how to charge a fee and create an enterprise for every other single thing in Colorado, making them up on the fly. You can't even keep track. They come with board. On the Bench is one of the chief sponsors of many, many enterprises and fee-sucking enterprises. Now, the enterprise should be for something useful. The fee should be for something useful, but it's usually just something contrived that you didn't even think you needed. And you certainly didn't need the government to do it. This is just saying simply, I mean,